Hello there, and welcome to a Tekken Tag Tournament 2 Zafina tutorial. I'm going to be doing this guide for beginners and advanced players. It's going to be for beginners who just could use a little extra to the game if they don't know too much, and advanced players just for something you could add to your game that you don't already know. This guide, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the move list. That way I could just cover each move a little at a time and talk about the frame did it and what's good about the move and when you can use it by the wall or any of that stuff. Because I had a tutorial I was gonna do before, but I kind of mumbled over everything because I forgot about this for a move or about that for a move. So I wanted to go ahead and redo it before I put that version up, and this is just gonna be a better version. I'm gonna talk about the stances and how to get around the screen with her, the pokes, counter hits, what's good on punishment, and I'm just gonna go through pretty much everything that there is that's good and that you need to know. Or at least that, I think is good to know. I'm not the best Zafina player, but I know a lot about the character, and there are some pretty decent Zafina tutorials out there, but I thought I would just go ahead and show my half because I know a lot that I haven't seen people use. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to mention is I'm going to go from punishes, which is probably her weakest category, but I'm going to go from that one. And then from there on down, I'm going to go to the menu and just do the move list. That way I can just talk about everything, and then, some miscellaneous stuff, things you just don't know about. As far as combos, as I go through, I'm going to mention a move that's good to maybe be counter hit and used as a combo. And, just like you're launching attacks and what you can use from it, and just the moves you'll need to be using in your combos. But this is not really going to be a combo video in the sense. So, if you came here and the first thing you really want to know about is combos, I don't really have a lot in that department to show. I kind of keep it really simple with her, but I can show you some things that are good. So I'll get to those when I get around the moves for it. And so yeah, let's go ahead and get started. General overview that I want to start. Zafina is a very situational, high-risk reward character. Now, before you look at that as a bad thing, the risk you get with the mix-ups you attempt, and if you do them correctly, if you guess right, you get high damage, high counter hit damage, and you can end fights with opponents really fast. When this tutorial is over, I'm going to go ahead and show some online matches that I was in, and you'll see me use the stances and get like perfects and everything. So I'll go ahead and show those later. But moving on, she's all about the lead. Like I'm just going to show a quick poke here. Like if you were to land at the beginning of a fight, then you want to start backing up, and the whole thing with her is you want to always get the lead attack, but never start off with the lead attack. And I'll mention that more as I get into the pokes. That's another thing too. When I start talking about pokes, I'm going to do that through the move list. Last time I was talking about pokes, I didn't have a lot of the key moves in my head that I wanted to do, and it took too long to talk about everything. So otherwise than that, in high risk reward, she's a pretty solid character in my opinion. She has like I said, not good punishment, but she has good, she has pretty decent overall damage, very high counter hit damage, pretty decent at the wall, and of course she's a heavy hesitation character. Like if you go for these mix-ups and your opponent doesn't see these attacks, it's a good way, she has a really good method of opening your opponent up. And the last thing I want to talk about is she's a very heavy dead button character, and when I get into her strings, I'll let you know what that is if you don't understand. So let's go ahead and get started here. As far as punishment, we'll start with 10 frames. So her first attack is a standing jab, and that's 10 frames. It's what is it? +8 on hit and -5 on block. Let's see. Punishment. Okay. So that's a standard 10 frame punish. Now next thing you have is 1-3. Now 1-3 can be held back, or it can be held forward. I'll talk about this move a little bit more when I get into the move list, but that is a 10 frame punish that she has. Let's see what else. 1-2-3, that's a 10 frame punish. Anything else? 1-3-1. Okay, yeah, and then standing 2. Standing 2. And of course when I get to the move list, I'll explain how you extend the moves. But yeah, standing 2 is a 10 frame punish. 2-1, all these are 10 frame punishes. 2-2. Oh, let's see. Do you have any more for 10 frames? 1, 2 twos. Okay. Let's see. As far as 12 frames, she doesn't have anything for 11 frames. As far as 12 frames, she has down 1. This is not really a punish you want to use though, because the follow-up doesn't work. And when I get into the move a little bit more, I'll have her do an attack, and I'll show you that it doesn't work. For 13 frames, she has down forward 1, down for 1 2, and down for 1 4. Those are her 13 frame punishes. For 14 frames, down forward 3 4 is what you want to do the most, and down forward 3 as a poke. And that's really it for that. Like I said, that's pretty much about it on her punishment. Outside of course, you know, with punishing, and her while standing punishment is good too. But okay, so yeah, okay, that's pretty much it for the punishment. As far as the standing punishment, I'll get to the while standing punishment when I go to the move list. But yeah, so yeah, general overview is pretty much she's a higher risk, high reward. Can be a very situational character. You just, I'm going to explain how you use the mix-ups and everything correctly, so you don't get frustrated that nothing's going to work. Because everything with her pays off when it's done right. Alright, so what we're going to do now is go through the move list. And, okay, so we're going to start with 1 2. Let's see what's about 1 2. 1 2 is, the frame data. It's 10 frame startups, -4 on block, +4 on hit. Nothing special about the move. You can use it if you're in a launch combo. Let me show you that real quick. You can use it in some situations to kind of just carry the opponent. Let me see if I can show you a sample combo. Yeah, you can just kind of use it every once in a while to kind of carry your opponent. It's better at a wall stage, but I just want to do this at, so if I show you a combo, I'm not limited by walls. Let's see what else. So that's pretty much that. Okay, so we have 1 2 3. Okay, this one I definitely need to talk about. Like I said, 1 2 3 is a natural is a 10 frame punish, but it's very hard to use as a punish, and I'll tell you why. As you can see, and I do have the opponent on standing guard, so you know what combos and what doesn't. All right, so 1 2 3 I mean, this attack is safe on block, but you don't really want to use it because they can duck. Let me put standing guard just so I can show you. They can duck the attack, and on hit, they can duck the 3. And as you notice, they can duck it before the 3 even like almost. That was different. They can duck it before the 3 even comes out, so they're gonna get a while standing attack on you before you, and you're even recovery. Even if you were to do 1 2 3 hold back, you're still gonna get punished. So you can use the move as a 10 frame punish, but the thing about the attack is if you get used to using it as a punish, and let's say you don't know if it punished or if they got hit by a counter hit, because you know it's not gonna say it on the screen during a fight. So if you do this and that and be like, oh, I thought it was a 10 frame punish. If they ducked, or if they guessed correctly, you know, and they just blocked it, that basically means you got away with this as a 10 frame punish, but you didn't get the full thing. So basically they could have just been hitting a button, you opened them up, but the 3 got blocked. He's like, oh man, I thought I had my 10 frame punish. So this move, I don't really recommend abusing too much. You can use it, but you have to be very careful. You don't want to be using this move as a 10 frame punish all the time, and then start ducking it, and then you're wondering, okay, back to the drawing board. Did that move punish or not? Because in this game, when you're attacking, unless you watch like an all-night fight you were in, this move is not going to let you know if you use it as a punish or not. As far as you know, the 1 2 hit, but the 3 is always iffy. So that's a really hard move to get used to using. Alright, 1 3. 1 3 is a very important move. Now, on startup, it is a 10 frame attack, of course. It's -4 on block and +5 on hit. Now, I'm also going to talk about, she also has moves that can be canceled out of stances, and that can be good or bad, depending on which one you're using. So let me talk about, let me see if I have it here. 1 3 back. Alright, back basically means you see if you do 1 3 you're in stance. If you hold back, you release the stance. So let me put her back on the, I'm going to do a lot of changing from stand guard to crouch guard just so you know what hits and doesn't hit, so you don't abuse certain attacks. Because your opponents are going to catch on if they're sharp. So now let me put stand and then standing guard. Okay, And by the way, too, I'm not going to mention his name, but there was a guy who did a tutorial on Zafina and mentioned 1-3 and said that this move could be ducked. And no, you can't duck this move. So it's a jail string. Just wanted to mention that real quick. So no one, whoever watched that tutorial is afraid to use that move. I just want you to know that that move does jail string and it's safe on block. Okay, yeah, so 1-3 backs, 10 frames, of course. Now, you notice when I said, this is going to be a little difficult to explain, but as I said, the 1-4 on block for the holding version is -4. Now, if you do it and hold back, you got a -8. So let's say you're blocking, and that's at -8 when you're at -4. And then again, you're at, if you do the move on +5, and you do the 1-3 attack, it's at +5. Now, if you do that and hold back, you're at +1 on hit. So basically, to not risk anything, always do it with the attempt to hold it. I mean, to not hold back. Your advantage is always going to be better. Now, of course, this is where the risk comes in, and then you go into Scarecrow Stance. Now, I'll mention more about how to use this move as I get into Scarecrow Stance. But what you want to do is because you're at +5 on hit, your Scarecrow Stance option, depending on the safer one you use, can be guaranteed, or you're going to get the mix-up that you want if they try to attack you immediately. That's how you're going to have to use that. If you use the back too much, you're letting yourself go of pressure. You know, you're going into -8 and, +1. You're not giving yourself anything there. So don't really use that too much outside of just doing 1-3 as an attack or a 10-frame punish. But of course, like I said, her best 10-frame punish, when it's done right, is 1-2-3. Otherwise, not 1-3 is your best 10-frame punish. All right, 1-4. This move is a true combo. On block, let's see, 1-4. It's -8 and it's +1 on hit. And it also has a special thing on counter hit. Now, to let you know, yeah, as you can see, this move pushes you back really far. So you don't want to, if you want to play this move smart, you don't want to go in with an attack. You want to do this move to get space and then just get up. They can't punish the move, and it moves you back really far. On top of that, if you're low on health with Zafina, you can also just tag your partner back in. Okay, speaking of real quick too, using her on point is the thing I like to do, but it all depends on how you like to play your Zafina. If you like to have her as like a secret weapon, this is the way I used to like to have her, then it depends on your point character references. I don't really have a preference for that, and I can't tell you what you should put her on. I just kind of prefer on point. I like her pokes. At least her poke's better than Fang. I don't know. His pokes are good, but on point, she's more tricky than he is. So, I don't know. I just wanted to mention that for anybody who had a question about where would you want to put her on point. Where would you have her in the match? Okay, where was I? 1-4. Okay, so as far as 1-4 goes, if you do the counter hit, you get this, and then you're going to get a bound combo with Tarantula Stance 1+2. Also, this is a little weird to show, but let me just have her jumping. If you have an opponent who's just kind of like just trying to jump around in the air just to hit you like a running attack, you can use this move. Let me see. So I can show you. It'll fling them like up in the air. Yeah, let me show you. Like that. You don't get nothing guaranteed after they can tech roll when they hit the floor. But if they're near the wall and they're trying to just run at you, it's a good way to get them off. On top of that, you fling them in the air and you can just crawl towards. Hold on, let me see if that combo's in the air though. Oh, cool. Well, no, you saw it in combo, so no. Let me try it again. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you don't get a combo. Okay. So that's pretty much it for that move. Let me get her off of that. And I'm also going to talk about ways to deal with some of her moves as well. I don't want to give away too much Zafina anti-tech, but some people do have a lot of issues with dealing with her, so I'm going to talk about that as well. Okay, 2-1-3. First of all, this does have a first part to it as well. So let's talk about 2-1. 2-1 is 10 frames, it's -6 on block, and it's +5 on hit. Also, on block, it puts them in crouch. And of course the move is only -6 on block. They don't have any, unless they have a 6-frame while standing punish, they can't punish the move. So, let's go into, sorry, I kind of fumble my words a lot. Okay, yeah, so 2-1 safe, and then you have 2-1-3. Now 2-1-3 can also be, if you hold down, you go into that. So if your opponent is used to seeing the 3 too much, you can cancel it, and now you're in managed stance, and you have options to attack in there. Now what you want to do is, she has a delay in it. Now, to use that delay, you have to use a smart, but I don't really recommend it. If you use a 3 too much and delay, it does crush highs, but you have to be careful. If someone is trying to hop kick you, they're going to land it before the delay comes out. So you either want to be all or nothing with this move. You want to do 2-1, and as you see, they block, so it's not a true combo. So if you do that and get the 6, it's up to you to say, okay, do I want to do this and finish, or do I want to take the risk and just cancel it? High risk reward is how you want to do it. Everything is all about making great decisions to play this character at her best. That's pretty much about that move. I will show that it is pretty good in Oki as well. So let me see if I can show you something real quick. Let me see if I can show her one front roll. Let me show you something. She's gonna roll. Okay, no, she's gonna roll the other way. All right, let me show you, like, if she was to try to back roll, just a quick sample of how you can use that on the ground. Oh no. So you can use it to try to catch them if they roll anywhere. It does hit on side rolls as well, but the 3 doesn't hit. So I don't know, just a small example of how to use that on the ground. Okay, making good progress here so far. And 2-2-1 + 2. All right, 2-2-1 + 2. Let's start off with the delay, of course. Okay, so you guys know it's a 10-frame. 2-2 does not combo, so you can't use that as a 10-frame punish. 2-2 does work on counter hit though. So I'll show you that. All right, so 2-2, the whole string, of course, is 10-frame startup. And so 2-2 is 10 frames, and it's -12 on block and -1 on hit. Nothing special about it on counter hit. Now that's pretty much about that move. You can use it kind of like the poke, you get in and out, I guess. But because it's -12, you don't really want to abuse it. So what you want to do is, of course, mix that up with this one. Mix that up with 2-1. You get -6. But of course, if they're trying to duck, then you land that if they crouch. So that's why you really want to mix that up. Let's see. Oh, I had a feeling I was going to mess this up. I also wanted to mention something else about 1-4. I did show you the counter hit on the move, but it also is really good if your opponent... let me see. Let me see if I can show you this. If your opponent tries to crouch you out of anything, like if you set this up and they try to wall stand attack, it also counters if they're crouching too. So if you do that and someone tries to immediately crouch you into a wall standing attack, it's good to fish with that move and you get a counter that way as well. Yeah, I don't want to leave anything out, you know, just want to mention it. Alright, so yeah, back to 2-2. Okay, yeah, so 2-2-1 + 2. If you do the full string, it's -9 on block. It does have a delay to it as well, and this is where dead buttons come into play. So you do 2-2, and if you do like 2-2 and do like another button really loud, like say you do 2-2-3, and then do that delay in there, so it sounds like you're pressing 4 buttons. So it'll throw your opponent off. So I'll give you an example. Like that. So if they're trying to attack you, that knocks them down. One way to deal with this move is when she's doing this move, you have to sidestep away from where she's swinging her hands. So you have to sidestep, I believe you have to sidestep left from where she's at on that side of the screen. But yeah, so you have to step away from her hands. And like I said, the move is -9 on block. So this move is like I said, all about the risk. You can do 2-1. 2-2 is not safe on block, so if you do decide to use it, you're gonna have to finish with that move. Of course, if you know your opponent is getting used to you doing the swinging move too much, you can do 2-2, and of course you can risk a throw, or you can risk trying another mix-up there, like 2-2, and let's say down 3. You know, it's all about how you want to use these mix-ups if you don't decide to finish the attack. And there's also, I'm just going to try to show you this real quick. There's also a pretty gimmicky little bound trick you can use with it. That's a wrong example. If they kind of like, I believe it's like they quick side roll or something like that. Let me show you. It's not something you want to use too much, but you can use it. Like that. You saw how it she rolls to the side and Zafina's still in the screen. So yeah, you can do something tricky like that. So that's pretty much what I just wanted to show about that move. Alright, so moving moving on to the next move. And like I said, I'm also gonna talk about how moves hit in the ground and where they're at so far. So nothing off the ground. Oh yeah, and 1-4 will also if someone tries a wake up attack, it will float them with that counter thing you just saw. So you can use that to fish out counterattacks as well. Let's see. Manticore, 1+2, 4. Okay. This move here, 1+2. I also want to mention a little shout out to some Korean players. If you get on YouTube, you look up TTT2 ZAFINA and look up either Pekka, P-E-C-A, Chanel, C-H-A-N-E-O, and Ni. And I'm pretty sure you guys know who Ni is by now. But those guys use this move a lot. Not the 1+2 4 attack, just the 1+2. This move is really good to cover space and get in. So starting off with that, 1+2 itself is 16 frames. And it's -12 on block and +4 on hit. So if you see that crush there, that's good to do +4 on hit, but you always want to follow this move up. If you use that as a poke again, it's good, but you always want to follow with 4. Unless you're whiffing for counter hits. Now 1+2 4 on hit is -10 on block and it's +1 on hit. Now this move has a really good counter hit to it. So you're gonna get that. If you do the 1+2, they float to the floor. Now if you do the 1+2 4, you get this float. So then you can get a standard combo there. As you can see, and there's the bound. Okay, 1+2. Okay, and then there's 1+2 4 4. Now again, dead buttons here. If your opponent is so used to seeing you do the 4 at the end, you want to throw in a loud 3. Oh, am I doing 4 again? Oh, no, wait. It's 4 4, not right? Not 4 3. I know she keeps. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm hitting 4 twice loudly. I'm sorry. So 1 2. Oh, I'm hitting 3 and it's doing it. Yeah. Okay. So you want to do 1+2 4 and a loud 3, and they thought that last attack was coming out, and then you get an option you can use if you don't do the 4. Now, if you do happen to do the 4, it's -11 on block. So of course, still not bad, which I thought was pretty good for that. It's a really good pressuring attack, using any of these moves as a mix-up, as a way to get in. I really love that they didn't make them super negative for her. You have to be careful though, because 1+2 4 4, that before that last kick comes out, right around there in that gap, your opponent can attack you there. They can throw out a jab or a parry or something like that. Otherwise than that, they'll just block and try to punish with a 10-frame attack. But that's the thing I want to show you there. Now, if you do the move and you land the last part, you have down 4 and then down 4 3, and you get that little mix up there. So let me go ahead and take her off standing guard so I can just show you this real quick. So you're going to get this and that combos. So you knock them down and you immediately follow up with down 4 3. You don't get nothing else. You can do back 1+2 from there, but you won't really get nothing else. The way I like to use it is you can use this move and then kind of get your partner in there. It's a pretty interesting way to follow that up. Otherwise than that, you can throw out a 1+2 or a down, what is it? A down 3. You can throw that on there as well. And just follow it down 3 or down back 4. Yeah, just mix your options up. I'm also going to talk a little bit here and there about what tracks too. As you can see, those crouching moves don't really track too well. Okay, so back to stand guard. I apologize. I get a little nervous doing these things, so if you like the way some of it sounds so far, I do apologize, but I'm doing my best to bring you the best Zafina guide that I can make. So, okay. Where we at? So that's all about that move, right? Yes. It's really good, like I said, for counter hits. It'll give you, especially if you do a lot of good whip punishing. She's a very strong whip punish character as well. So if you use that as a whip punish with the 4, definitely go ahead and get the combo that follows. If you just do this to get in, don't forget, don't press the other one. They will block it. Doesn't combo. And now, if they, like I said, if they do block it, you can always throw out that last 4. And if, of course, they get hit by that, then do your follow up on the ground. Now, if you do this as well, it's plus, what is it, +1 on hit. So you want to follow up. You can try to follow up with a jab. They can't duck that. So you want to use that +1 to do any kind of pressure while they're still there. But they can duck, so be careful trying to follow with a throw or a jab. ET move. Okay, forward 2, 3, 4. Let's start off with forward 2. Let me see what I have on this page yet. Okay, so forward 2, not really much to mention there. It's 19 frames. The whole string is 19 frames, but it's really bad on block. Otherwise than that, it's really good to, as a kind of like a get-in poke. But of course, you want to use it with 3. And on counter hit, forward 2 crushes your opponent for a combo opportunity. Now, the follow-up to it is forward 2, 3. Now, forward 2, 3 is good on hit. It's +8 on hit. Like I said, 19 frame startup. And it's -1 on block. Now, you don't really want to worry about too much what it is on block because they can duck it. So you want to be very cautious of how you use this string a lot. But of course, like I showed you, the main reason you want to use this move is to, you know, you can kind of poke with it to get in, check your opponent. Of course, if you do that, always follow up with the 3. Even if it's on counter hit, the 3 will not whiff. You can always get that and launch them up and get a combo. Okay, and then there's 4. Now as you see, forward 2, 3 is a natural combo, and it's +5 on hit. I mean, it's +8 on hit. And the 4 knocks them pretty far, but it's actually -19. And you see how she kind of glides a little bit forward. So the only time you really ever want to do the whole string is within combos or by the wall. And it does work by the wall as a combo. So, yeah, when I'm done showing this, I'm going to have to go and show just a few stuff by the wall when I get there. But let me just run through the move list. Okay, forward 3. Did I talk about everything I need to talk about with this move? Yeah, they can duck the string. Yeah, the 4. Good on counter hit. You only really want to use it for this, and you can kind of get in with a full attack. That's pretty much about it. Oh, yes. And then with the forward 2, 3, you notice you're in Scarecrow. Now, you can hold back, which is another thing I have to mention. If you do forward 2, 3 and back, when you hold back, you're at -9 on block, and you're at neutral on hit. Let's see. And then, of course, forward 2, 3 leaves you in Scarecrow. And on hit, you're at +8, so that's definitely a good advantage to start your Scarecrow mix-up. Alright, so then Scarecrow sidekick. This is one of your most important key moves. Real quick, let me see if I mentioned any key moves or strings. No, okay. So now we're gonna start getting into key moves as we go down as well. Alright, forward 3 is what is it? It's 21 frame startup. It's neutral on block, and on hit it knocks down. Now this is a primary whiff punisher because as you're throwing out jabs or anything you can just to get a whiff attack. Forward 3 covers great range, and you can get in if your opponent tries to attack late. With it being neutral on block, that's good because you're in Scarecrow stance. Now you also notice there too, if they block it, they're in a side stance. So they're not going to be able to immediately punish unless they turn around. So if you put them in that, you have a free opportunity to attack. Do it as fast as you can before they turn around. So you want to get in and just, attack, because you notice they're in that side step. So it's not like they can jab. They're going to jab the air. Then the jab's going to turn them around, but they're not going to turn around and get a jab. Alright, another thing that's important about this move is, like I did say, it is neutral on block. The frame data doesn't change on block. It's still neutral, even if you hold back. You hold back, and it's kind of difficult to do it sometimes, though. You have to hold it back really hard. There you go. And she's still in that stance, and that you're in neutral. So you can either hold it to stay in Scarecrow stance, or you can let go and just do a natural poke stance. And look at that. I did back 1 +2, and she's still standing like that. Of course, your opponent naturally is going to turn around, but So that's pretty much what I mentioned this move. Also, there is a small combo follow-up if you do forward 3 and hold back, and I'm going to show you what that is right now. You can follow in, down. You can follow in with down forward 2. This one can be a little difficult to get down because you have to hold back really hard to let go of the stance. Oh man, you gotta hold it down really hard. Whew. There you go. Yeah, that does combo, but I have to be a little bit sharper. But yeah, it can be really difficult. You really will kind of want to use these whip punishes. Also, another easy way to follow it up is they'll float. So if you do Scarecrow 3+4, you get a bound combo. You have to go close though, like that. Where are we at? 31 minutes? Okay. Scarecrow Psychic, okay. Eco bear move. Forward 4, not too much to talk about this move. It's 14 frame startup, it's negative 8 on block, and it knocks down naturally on hit. You can get a free down 2 afterwards, or any kind of mix up you like. You can do down back forward 2 if they try to stand, and we'll get a float. So yeah, if you have to mix your options up. Like I said, her Oki is really strong too, and as I get to more moves, I'll talk about how good they are in Oki. It's also pretty good at kind of floating combos to get your opponent near the wall. So let me see. I need to get a wall stage. But yeah, if you use the forward 4 by the wall, it's really solid as well. I have Jinpachi because there's something when I get to the stances later that you got to know about. Use this stage. How's everybody doing today? Everybody doing okay? It's been a great day. I really love playing this character. I have a lot that I want to share about, So okay, let's see if I can do this again. Oh, sorry about that. Let me see if I can do it from like this angle. Let me get her a little bit further away. Oh, I got bang. Oh, already by the wall. Man, this is really annoying. See if I can show you now. Yeah, so like that. You'll flatten towards the wall. It's kind of like a dart. Just puts them right in the wall. Some like if you land it like mid wall, it'll kind of just float them to the. Well, let me see if I can just show you like something simpler. Like that. It'll just float them like that, and they can hit the wall depending on how your combo does. That's pretty much about 4-4. Not really much to talk about that. Oh, sorry about that. All right. Oh, back on the move list. Okay. Okay, forward 1+2. This move, let me see. It's 19 frames. It's negative 10 on block, which is actually pretty good. And I don't know if you can notice it too well, but it does great on hit. Kind of hits the same. But I don't know if you can notice, but she's kind of to the other side. So if you land this move on block, you can kind of start sidewalking if they don't attack you immediately. It's a pretty decent thing. It moves you a little bit far away from your opponent, so it can be hard to punish immediately. But she is kind of like on the side. So it's kind of like if your opponent, you can kind of sidestep their jab and get a side throw. It's not something that's like done often, but you can do it. Otherwise than that, counter hit or whatever, it doesn't really change differently. You can follow up with some pretty good Oki attacks if you get towards your opponent. Like using down 2 is a really good option as well. I'll talk about down 2 in a few minutes, but yeah, it's just a move you can use and kind of shove your opponent back and follow them up. And of course, 9 times out of 10, if they try to back roll or side roll, you have great Oki options on the floor. So it's a really good move to get your opponent off you. It's kind of like her version of a back blow. Except she doesn't go the other way, you know? Like, she doesn't turn backwards. Okay, that's pretty much it for that move. Oh, there is something I do want to show real quick. I'm actually glad I got a wall stage for this. There's something really important you need to know about this move. That it does by the wall. Let's see. Rage. Okay. So let me get the opponent by the wall. Oh wait, this will be a lot easier. Battle position, wall hit. Okay. So let's say we're gonna put the opponent on attack crash. All right. Yeah. If you do that attack. Now I'm trying to do a back throw. Yeah, but this is a wall trick I found out when I was coming up with some interesting things you could do by the wall, like that. So if you use that move to bait tag crashes for 1+2, you can also do it in combos as well. Some combos you can float to the wall and then use that to splat. You have to see them do that splat. They have to be standing up and being like, all right, I can naturally do a follow up, but if they land on the ground, they're mashing tag crash. Let me do this and bait something out. I get the hit on Zafina, and if they get behind me, I can get a back throw or just chase them down. It's a really cool option. Of course, I didn't mention what this move is, but I'll get to it when it's there. But I did want to go ahead and show that as a pretty cool wall trick. So let me get, attack crash and everything back off. Let me put them on slide roll. So took the rage off. Speaking of, too, she's a pretty good rage character when you do the right kind of combos and counter hits. Strong counter hit character, pretty good rage character as well. Is that about it? Yeah, let me just change the position settings. Okay. So that's pretty much, that move's not like too important. It's not like a key move or anything, but it's pretty good. Down for a 1-2, and then you got down forward 1-2-1. Alright, this move is a lot of important things to talk about with this attack. Okay, so down for a 1 is, it's a 13 frame startup. It's, what is it, -5 on block and +7 on hit. It also tracks both sides. Now the follow-up, the down forward 1-2, it is a full combo, as you can see, for 35 damage. Of course, if it is blocked, that's -14. And down forward 1-2-1 is -14. Now it does have a delay in it, which is pretty good. And I'm going to show you something real quick as well. Let me see if I can get the other Zafina in here. Okay. Oh, not that. I want to show the delay. Don't use a delay often because your opponent can get away from it. So only use a delay if your opponent hasn't seen the move often. But 9 times out of 10, I'm going to show you a trick that you want to use with this move. Okay, so the first thing I want to show... Oh, that's wrong. First thing I want to show with this move is how you know it can be effective. Okay. First thing, I want to show you that. You see the punish there I get. She has a 10 frame punish there. Let me see if I can show it again. And you notice how that jab kind of whiffs. Now you punish immediately because, of course, the frames is -14. So you're going to get a free jab. Let me try it again. And this move like whiffs a lot of jabs. Okay. Well, the thing I wanted to show you differently was watch with Fang here. You notice how that whiffed. Now you do his lead jab, then you get the punish. If you want to do now this move is -14, but if your opponent does not know the frames, and let's say they try to punish with a jab, if they don't do a lead jab, they're going to whiff that attack, and Zafina's going to get a kind of get punished. Now the other thing I want to show that's important, if you ever see that little stun there, that means your opponent was pressing a button. They thought they could interrupt it. This move cannot be sidestepped or interrupted when you do the whole string. So that's the only advantage to doing the whole string. If you do the delay, there's a lot of ways to go ahead and interrupt that move. You can just sidestep it. I think you can attack the move before it like comes out, right? Yeah, you can't like jab punish it, but you can just sidestep attack. Oh, you can't sidestep, right? So yeah, if you do the delay, it depends. Like if you're pulling blocking and then hit, then you can't hit again. Also, there's this too. It's gonna be kind of hard to show them with the opponent doing that, but I'm just gonna show you what the whole move looks like if you ever land this. Now they're gonna move that far back. They can actually hold back and move around, so they're not gonna stay in that spot on hit. But if you do land the full attack, you can follow up a little bit with some pressure there. But yeah, like I said, you know, you're going to be very careful with using this entire string, and don't use the delay too often. That's strong advice I really want to give you. All right, there's a trick with that, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about a move a little earlier than I should. Is down back 2. Now down back 2 is a 13 frame move. It's what is it? It's -9 on block and I believe +3 on hit. I haven't got to that move yet, but I need to talk about it for this string. Okay, so if you notice down 4 1 2 has this move in the middle. Now what you want to do is down 4 1 2 is a good combination on block, but of course, if they block it, it's -14. Now it's up to your risk to decide if you want to finish the string or delay it. That's up to you. But if you want to make a different risk but pays off better, you do down 4 1 and then down back 2. Because down back 2 is -9. So instead of risking -14, you delay it, and on top of that, it's good counter hit. On counter hit, it floats them that way, and of course, like I said earlier, free down 2 or just dash up for smoky attacks. Now, the reason it's risky is because you're going from down 4 1, which is 13, to another 13 frame attack, instead of locking them down with a string, which they can't move away from. But it depends on how you want to use the move, because do you want, you know, to use this has no delay in it. So do you want to, you know, risk that -14 and have to finish the string? Trust me, even a really bad player is going to punish this. So do you want to do that, or do you want to show them there's a really odd delay you can use by using that? And that move will get you a counter hit majority of the time. Your opponent's always going to be trying to mash a button after this attack. So if you land that, and of course you get the hit, it's +3, so you're still close enough to land a throw or any kind of pressure that you want. So that's just a little trick I wanted to show you with that attack. And like I said, you know, I don't think anyone, I haven't seen anyone try to talk about that in the other tutorials. So, you know, it's just an option that I wanted to, you know, just mention. That's just a smart way to use that. And there's a lot of little shortcuts like that I'm going to be mentioning to you throughout this guide. All right, so, all right, yeah. So down to down forward 4 1. Okay, this is your primary 13 frame punisher. It is actually not a key move, but it's a key attack that you want to be using a lot in pressure strings. So instead of down 4 2 1 2, which you see is 35, this is 38. The only difference though is down 4 1 2 is a jail string because it's high mid, and this is mid high. It's a good string on hit, but they can duck it on block, so be very careful with that. Otherwise than that, nothing really special to it. Not really good by the wall or in combos. It's just a really good pressure string. Let's see. On block, it's -6. On hit, it says it's -22, which I don't agree with that. I'm pretty sure, look, I can hold block after that. I'm pretty sure you can do something, so I don't know. But, I'm looking at the right move, right? Yeah, it's -22 on hit. That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, 13 frame startup. So it's your primary 13 frame punish. Let's see what's next. Down 4 2. This is nothing much to talk about here. It's 15 frame startup, -12 on block. It's your natural launching attack. Crushes highs. Really good thing to know about this move as well. Unlike her hop kick, which is up forward 4, it actually covers good range because you see the way she kind of turns. So it's kind of good as like a launcher to kind of get in. You see how it has like a late hitbox? So that's what I like about that move. But otherwise than that, it's just a natural launcher. Not really much to mention there. Dueling Centaurs. Okay, this is one of your key moves. This is one of your most important moves of Zafina. Okay, so down forward 3 4. The most important part is down forward 3. Like I said, okay, let's get into down forward 3 real quick. Okay, down forward 3 is 14 frame startup. It's -5 on block and +1 on hit. And of course, as you saw, it does have a cancel. Yeah, I mentioned all that. Yeah, so down forward 3 back. If you hold back, it's actually -10 on block and -4 on hit. It's a big downfall difference. So it's really good at the whiff punishing range as well. So this is one of your key not whiff punishing moves, but whiff attacks to kind of just keep your opponent out. But be careful with holding back. You're not going to get much on hit. Even if they're moved back at -4, you're better off at +1 because you get into this and you get options. And with that range, you have a lot of Scarecrow whip punishing attacks you can use there, and it's really good. Then you have, okay, so let's get to the full string. Down forward 3-4. Okay, it's a natural combo. You won't get this often, but if you whiff it, you kind of get that into a combo, the forward combo. On block it can be ducked. If they do not duck it, it's -6. So you're still in the green light. And they have down forward 3, down 4, which I do believe is in the move list too. Yeah, Cuckoo, I believe it's called. Okay, yeah. Now this move, used very cautiously, it does not combo. As you see there, they can block that or low parry it. Now the move, the forward 3, down 4. Let me see if I can find it. The down 4 is -17 on block and +2 on hit. It's kind of rewarding, but as you notice, it puts them in crouch, but they can get back up. Now another thing about the move is if you hold down, she stays in crouch. So what you can do from that is you can get some, you can sneak some while standing attacks in there. You can kind of crawl forward. You can mix some options with that. Like you can do, let's see, you can do full crouch down forward 3 is a good option from that. You can do back 1+2, which is another key move I'll get to in a few minutes. And you can do this move out of crouch, which makes it very effective. Let's see. Cuckoo. Did I mention this one? Okay. This move right here is 14 frames. Now, I didn't mention it as a 14 frame punish because it does not full combo. Now, it does full combo on counter hit, but it's kind of hard to see it during a fight. You can see they just get kicked up, and then, of course, the counter hit, they kind of hold their face. Otherwise than that, the only real use for this move, and also the down forward 4 does kind of kick off the ground. It's a low hitting mid. The only real use for this move is if you hold down forward before the 2 comes out. You can also delay the 1, like just slightly. But if you do that, and then if you do down forward 1 and hold down forward, you get a crouch cancel attack. So you can go into down forward 3s. If they're hesitating, you can get a throw. That's one of the better ways to use this attack. It's just to kind of like crouch with it. You can also like get full screen with it and kind of just get in and out, kind of just mix it up. Like I said earlier, use the crouch 1+2. This is also one of your key combo attacks. It's good at combo enders. Okay, I think I'm at 49 minutes now. That's the highest my video will go for the moment. So I hope you guys enjoyed so far. A lot more to talk about. We're almost, we'll probably get through the rest of the move list in part 2, and in part 3 will probably just cover ways that you want to use the mix-ups and some more miscellaneous stuff. And then I'll get into a little bit more on what you should be using by the wall and whatnot. But for now, that's all. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, stick around for part 2, which should be up shortly. And thank you.